Are we setting line? We're setting lines now.
Hey everyone, welcome to the February 28th, 2024 meeting of the Urban Design Commission. My name is Tyler Holmes and I am the chair of the commission. When called on, applicants and speakers will come to the front of the podium and speak. Only one person at a time should come to the podium. Please do not approach the podium until it is vacated by the previous speaker. Please speak into the microphone and identify yourself and provide your address for the record when you begin speaking. Address your comments, questions, and testimony to the commission. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. It is unnecessary to repeat the testimony previously given by others. Citizens may address the commission on agenda items by responding to the chair's call for speakers during discussion on each item and signing the speaker's log at the podium. All comments must be relevant to the item. The chair or presiding officer may, in his or her discretion, prohibit a person from addressing the committee and or remove that person from the council chambers. If that person commits any disorderly or disruptive behavior, please see the agenda for more information about these requirements. If you are parked in the Sheridan Walker parking garage north of John Rex Elementary School or the Arts District parking garage immediately south of City Hall, staff can provide you with a validation ticket. The agenda and documents are located at www.okc.primegov.com/public/portal. You would then select the Urban Design Commission meeting, then click on an agenda item, and the relevant documents will come up below the item. Could you please call the roll, Keith?
Holmes.
Present.
Payton.
Present.
Black.
Here.
Cow. Dixon Oso.
Here.
Peoples. Here. We have quorum.
All right. Looks like we have a quorum. So, approval of last month's minutes. We can review quickly if anyone has any questions, but otherwise, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, everyone vote.
You want to do it by voice? You just do it.
Sorry, I'm having trouble signing in.
Okay, minutes have been approved. Looks like we do not have any cases withdrawn this month. We do have a continuance request for UDCA-23-00027 at 2409 North Robinson Avenue. So moving forward from there. Nothing is on the consent docket, looks like this week, this month.
We need a motion.
Do a motion on the continuance? Okay, let's do a motion on the continuance.
Is there a date?
They contacted me and they will not be able to make March, so they asked for continuance to April.
I'll make a motion to move this item to the April agenda.
I'll second. Yes.
All right, item has been continued and passed. Okay, we have nothing on the consent docket this month, and we do have one item for individual consideration. This is UDCA-23-00030, parentheses R1 at 2500 South Harvey Avenue.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. This is an item, it's a kind of a follow-up housekeeping item for a case that you heard at your meeting in November, and this was for the CA for the Capitol Hill Plaza down in Capitol Hill on South Harvey, the block between Southwest 24th and Southwest 25th. So you've already approved a street closure for that portion of the street, and then you followed that up in November with the approval of the CA. However, at the time of both of those applications were filed, they had failed to file the application for the variance. I think that they were not aware that they needed that. Therefore, we couldn't hear the variance request at that time, either with the street closure or with the CA. Now they filed the application for the variance. They're scheduled to go to hearing, I believe, sometime early next month. And we just need a recommendation from the commission to the Board of Adjustment with respect to the variance that's required. Just so you're familiar with the variance in question, the code says that if you have a street frontage, your primary vehicular access must be taken from that street frontage, and that alleys should only be used for secondary access. And since the street is being closed, the only way they're going to be able to get any primary vehicular access is from the alleys that parallel Harvey on the west and the east side of this particular street segment. So that's the provision of the code that they're applying for the variance from, and given that we recommended approval of the CA, I think that it's pretty straightforward. The staff's recommending approval to the commission to recommend approval to the BOA. So if you have any questions, please give me.
So, Michael, I have a question. So the major traffic is going to be rerouted to the alleys on the east and west sides?
Well, the west side is only a church, one property owner. The east side, there's a vacant lot at the top, and then there's a house below that, and then a couple of parking lots and a couple of businesses, and they would all be forced to access their properties via the alleys. They've all been behind this project for the plaza. They're all aware of the changes that are coming, and they're all supportive of the request. So.
Okay. Thank you. That's the only question I had.
Any other questions or comments, Michael? Do we have anyone present that wants to speak on this? And do we have any further discussion on this? Or motion? Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the application on the basis that the project meets the regulations and guidelines of the Urban Design Overlay District zoning ordinance as referenced in section C and D of the staff report, with the condition that the applicant obtain a variance from the Board of Adjustment from the requirement that the building sites are required to take primary vehicular access from their adjoining public street frontage.
I'll second it.
Okay, ready to vote?
Payton, your vote, please. What was your vote? I heard you second, but what was your vote? Okay.
Okay, item is
And then
passed.
I'll make a recommendation, I'll make a motion to provide a recommendation of approval to the Board of Adjustments for a variance from the requirement for all building sites to take primary vehicular access from their adjoining public street frontage.
People second?
Yes. That is also passed. That's all for this item? Okay, we have other business here. On this, just, is this something I need to bring up to the commission? Yes. Okay. So we have item CE-01117 at 1125-1133 Northwest 26th Street.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a street closure, excuse me, not a street closure request. It is a closure of a portion of a right-of-way in front of a project that is either under construction or very close to being completed construction on Northwest 26th Street. It's a residential project with two multi-story residential buildings, and due to an error in the surveying that was done for the site, both buildings were built partially out onto the city right-of-way. I think one building is about 6 inches over the line and the other one is about a foot over the line. So the only way to remedy that is to close the public right-of-way where the footprints of those buildings stand, and that's the request the applicant has made. Given the circumstances we have in front of us and the fact that the buildings are on the ground and virtually complete, staff is recommending that the commission recommend approval of the street closure to the Planning Commission. That completes my presentation. I'm prepared to respond to any questions the commission may have.
Good afternoon, Austin Ham, 522 Cold Court Drive, here on behalf of the applicant. This is a closing application to close about 1.5 feet of a right-of-way of Northwest 26th Street. This came before this commission back in your January meeting, but due to a lack of quorum, had to get bumped to today. So it did go ahead and move forward at Planning Commission, was recommended for approval there. Coming back here now to get the commission's approval. This is a small portion of the right-of-way. These buildings are already mostly developed. There's a small encroachment due to a surveying issue that occurred. We're only going about 1 foot off max over into the right-of-way, so we're requesting a closure of 1.5 feet that will go and get the vacation from in district court after. This is a little bit unusual. There's an 80-foot setback requirement in this area, which is a little bit different from the typical 60. So we think there's still more than enough closure. We're going to be 20 feet away from the sidewalk. Recommendation of approval from Planning Commission. We've received no protests or complaints. Request your approval as well, and happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, open for questions. Is there anyone present that would like to speak on this item as well? I don't have any questions on this item. If anyone has no questions, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion. To provide a recommendation of approval to the Planning Commission for the request to close a 1.5 foot wide strip of the public street right-of-way on the north side of Northwest 26th Street at the property frontage for 1125 through 1133 Northwest 26th Street, with the condition that the applicant, upon the final approval of the subsequent vacation of this portion of the right-of-way by the district court, shall file a revision to UDCA-20-38 to accurately depict the altered right-of-way line.
Do we have a second?
Thank you very much.
This item is passed. Thank you. Okay. Going to communications. There are 3 items for administrative approval. Does anyone have any questions on any of these items? Okay, we can move. I think we can move forward from there. Any comments from planning staff?
No, sir.
Okay. Any comments from commission members? All right, that was a quick one. Thanks to everyone. Next meeting date is Wednesday, March 27th, 2024. On Wednesday, see y'all there.